you do before I let you go, um, probably the biggest women's fight of the year is coming up in a couple weeks. On that
Hmm.
Mike Tyson, Jake Paul.
Yeah.
They're kind of saving the credibility of the card. Like if you feel
Oh.
guilty as a hardcore boxing person ordering the pay-per-view, you could just hide behind Taylor and Serrano. Oh, I didn't order it for Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. I
Yeah,
ordered it for-"
right.
But
Yeah, that's a huge fight. I was actually Shreen and I were hoping to come out for it, but I've got a bit of business to take care of here. But yeah, massive fight. Like just so amazing to see the best fight the best, for women, and to raise that bar for women's boxing, what they did at Madison Square Garden. Um, it was just phenomenal. It really, really, really was. And it's so nice to see someone like Amanda Serrano receive the recognition that she deserves. And, everything that's coming to her right now, I feel like she deserved that a very long time ago. She's, accomplished so much in the sport. And I think that's one of the hardest things for women, like when you go unseen for so long, even though you're putting your blood, sweat, and tears into it, all the time and the sacrifice it takes to get to that point, to achieve those things, to finally see her in that light, I think is just phenomenal, and how it transcends to women's boxing, to women's sport all around the world. It takes someone like Katie Taylor and herself, it always takes two people to lift that veil and have the light shine right on top of you. So it's a great fight for women's boxing, great fight for boxing, period.
yeah,
Yep, it's going to be a cracker of a fight.
you picking Serrano to win that fight?
I would like to see her get up and win that fight 100%. Yep.
You'd like to see her, but
Yeah,
if you had
yeah,
to put some
I
money on
do.
it,
Yeah,
okay,
I'll put money on Serrano for sure.
okay.
She's fire, man. She's got that firecracker Latino. you know.
She's a badass offensive fighter.
Yeah,
Defense, don't get me wrong, moves her head coming in, but her
and if she's on,
pressure,
like, yeah,
yeah.
like I feel like, yeah, she's also from the last one. She's got more to prove. Like she's hungry to get it done. So
Let me ask you this, because they're fighting at lightweight, I believe, or because yeah, I know
yeah,
she beat
lightweight.
Chantel Cameron to become champion
Mm-hmm.
at 140, but okay, they're doing the rematch at 35. What would you think if Bumgardner came up 5 pounds to fight the winner?
Well, that's another great fight.
Mm-hmm.
That is, look at all these great fights there are to make. Seriously, it's just the levels
This
have
guy
just been
Nicholson at
risen.
26, like moving up the
Yeah,
ranks
she's
for
slick. The
Bumgardner
slick
or
mover.
yeah,
Yeah, any
yeah,
of these fights, like I feel, hasn't Sky been calling out Serrano?
she has.
Yeah, yeah. So I
I'm not
mean,
saying nah, not right now,
two
kid.
southpaws, two southpaws.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting, and the styles of those two different styles would make a good fight. But yeah, chucking Baumgartner in the mix, whew, she's a bit of a beast herself. She's hungry. She's always out living the lifestyle, putting in the work. You always see her. She's strong. Yeah, all of these fights are really, really good fights for boxing. Yep.
Well, Nicholson and Serrano would be crazy because all
Yeah.
Nicholson wants to do is fight on the outside.
Outside.
No one's
Yeah.
forced her to fight in the pocket, and that's what Serrano
Yeah.
does best. So that would be
Pressure.
interesting.
The
Yeah.
pressure. Yeah, it would be interesting to see, Sky in that position, how she would, handle that. And I'm sure that, her camp would train for that too, knowing Serrano's style. But that would be really good to see her push her in that way, where she doesn't always get what she wants from the outside, and you can do that by pressure, even just your pressure by presence as well. You can take that energy away from your opponent. So it'd be a great fight.
I'm forgetting that you guys are fellow Aussies. Like that girl,
Yeah, of
I mean,
course.
she's doing the same thing every fight, but no one's getting close to
No
her.
one's
She just
catching
keeps
her.
turning them and turning them and turning
It's
them.
interesting,
Yeah.
hey, because when you do the same thing over, like you think someone would be able to catch those patterns, but I guess she's very confident as well, and you don't know until you get in the ring with someone of what it really feels like to be in the ring and share that energy and share that space, and how you're going to like take their energy and use it for you, or how you're going to show up on the day. Like it's really different when you get in there. You can prepare as much as you want for the fight and do certain things, but nothing is going to replicate the actual fight.
Well,
Mm.
actually, I do got one more I have to throw your way since we are talking Australian boxing.
Yeah.
You know, your man Liam Paro defending his
Oh
belt
yeah.
against someone from out here, from the United States,
Mm.
Richardson
Mm-hmm.
Hitches, long arms, fast
Ooh,
hands.
good
But
fight. Good
it is a
fight.
good fight. It is a good fight. Who do you think take the I'll take my American bias to the side. You take your
Be
Aussie bias to the
unbiased.
side. Yeah, who wins? Yeah.
I think Liam Paro gets that done. You know, I do. I really feel like he's in his prime right now. It's not easy when you're from down here in Australia. Like a lot of people don't realize how hard it is to come all the way over to the States and make a name for yourself. It's tough, and he's hungry for it. You know, I know him and his team, they're very hungry for it. They've been putting in a lot of the work, a lot of the hours, the sacrifice, and everything. And it's a big step up, but he's proven that he can do it. He can get it done, and I'd like to see him win. I think he's strong. He's very strong fighter. So I feel he'll get that job done.
Why do you think the Aussie fighters, like not to diss the British fighters because they have a richer history than
Yeah.
Australian fighters do, but
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like as of late, the Aussies are fighting with a little more edge, a little bit
Mm-hmm.
more like like less I'm here to give it my all and a little bit more of I'm here to fuck you up. Like there's a little
Yeah.
bit, yeah. Why do you think that is?
I feel like in my time in boxing, I've seen Australian boxing really take a lot of growth over the last, I would say, 4 years, 5 years. Um, you know, people like, for example, what No Limits and Tim Zhu have done for the culture here. Um, I guess the Olympics, what that has created here for the culture of boxing is growing. It's getting stronger, and the fighters that are coming out have got more grit and resilience because the fire is there. So I feel like there's a lot more fighters, you know, like Jai Apataya, Sky Nicholson, Liam Paro. There's some really great fighters down
Cambosis won
here.
the titles. Yeah.
Absolutely Cambosis. Like that's the one thing. Like when I was over in the States, it was me over there in Cambosis, like getting those wins. And I didn't really feel like there was many others at the time that I was over there from Australia. So like I said, when you go over to the States, it's a whole nother level and another step up. And you really got to have that real drive and that grit to want to be there and want to compete and want to be the best to get those wins, and I feel like that culture here is really starting to bubble and grow. With the TV, like when I first started boxing, Foxtel wasn't even covering boxing at that time. Like I know previously they were, and there's like they have these lulls, so when it's broadcast on TV, it just grows and it gives everyone something to look forward to and to inspire to be like, for younger generations to want to get in there and be hungry and see what's possible.
So even though Tim may have had a rough fight with Murtazaliev recently, you felt like he opened up doors.
Oh, like what they were doing, like growing Tim Zoo down here in Australia. Like there's fights on, every week, like Wednesdays, weekends. Like the fights are being broadcast a lot down here now, so that's where it gets out to everybody, and they just jump behind, being able to support the fighters. Yeah, I definitely feel the way that they've grown and grafted Tim Zoo. It's an unfortunate loss that the last two losses that he's had. He didn't really need to lose that way to Fundora. I think he could have come out if it was, handled differently, still the champion, which would have been different going forward into the next fights that he would have had. And I think that he would have risen to the occasion. Yeah, not quite sure what happened with him in the last fight. But hopefully he can come back. It was a tough fight, so hopefully he'll get back and be able to rise again and have that support around him to be able to get back on top pretty much. But like I said, there are a lot of other champions here. Like he catches a lot of the limelight, but there's a lot other champions here and other great fighters here that I believe deserve that light as well. So hopefully it can be shared a little bit more equally now.
Well, Lulu, I blink and 25 minutes goes by. I
I know,
appreciate
right?
all that time. Thank you for
Yeah.
your time. We know you want Yokasta
Thank you.
Valle moving
Yes, your
forward.
Costa. That's the fight. I think that's a fight everybody there in the States is going to get excited and get behind because it is fireworks and it is, the best fight in the best. So
Hey,
the Bang Bang Lulu's coming back.
Talk your shit, Lulu. No,
Talk your shit.
thank you for
That's
your
it.
time. Great
Thank you,
catching up
Sean.
with you, and I'll see you when
Yeah,
you're stateside.
always. That's it, my brother. Thank you. Appreciate
Take,
you.
take care, champ. Thank you.
Peace.